What is up, you guys? This is Alden Day 1 on the PS4, and I'm going to be giving you another Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet build video. So this video, or this build in particular, is probably one of the best hybrid builds you'd probably end up using if you do use this. Now, this is a very well balanced build as well, so you're not necessarily going to be putting out the most damage, and you won't be the most survivable character, but you will still have a good amount of damage and a pretty good amount of survivability, as well as being able to heal yourself and your allies, being able to support all this, pretty much everything. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the stats. So I have 120 strength, 113 vitality, 118 intelligence, 100 agility, 140 dexterity, and 100 luck. So now the reason why I went with 120 strength is, one, is for the gear weight. So you want to make sure you have a pretty comfortable amount of gear weight on yourself, because if you don't have a good amount of strength, you're not going to have a good amount of gear weight, which means you won't be able to use specific weapons that you might want to use or that you might have. For example, if you have a Tiamat, you won't be able to use Tiamat and your SMGs if you have less than 2,000 gear weight. Now, that's why I was saying strength is going to be pretty important with this type of build. And then vitality, you're only going to have the 113 vitality just for the survivability purposes, as well as being able to use specific other abilities. And then 118 intelligence, so that way you're going to be able to use, I believe it's the electrodynamic stunner that requires 118 intelligence. And then you have agility, which is 100, and then 140 dexterity, and then 100 luck. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the skills and the ability, or the weapons and whatnot. So my primary weapon is my assault rifles, or my LMGs. You guys do not have to have your assault rifles as your primary weapons. You can use submachine guns, shotguns, handguns, gun and sword, launcher, Gatling gun, or snipers. Doesn't matter which one is your primary, as long as you're using these specific abilities as your primary, and then you have specific abilities set as your secondary abilities. So for your primary abilities, you're going to have armor break shot 3, tactical roll, or electrodynamic stunner. So I would suggest tactical roll if you're using an LMG or a weapon that kind of takes a little longer than it should when it's reloading. But if you're using an SMG or just a regular AR, you do not need tactical roll, because you reload really quick, as well as the handgun, you reload very quick. So if you have a weapon that reloads quick, then don't worry about tactical roll. Go ahead and use electrodynamic stunner, which is what this is. And you can use electrodynamic stunner 3 if you have 118 intelligence, as well as some other stat I don't remember. And then you're going to have shield matrix 1, 2, or 3. 3 obviously if you have it, but the reason why you want shield matrix is that way you can negate the damage that's coming to you if you know it's going to be like a one shot or a really heavy damage. And then you're going to have healing field shot as well, so that way you can heal yourself. This is going to be very important, because you can't really rely on your artificers or any other of your AIs to help you out by healing you. So whenever you can, if you get hit by something hard, or if you just get hit by anything, you can heal yourself just with this ability. And the cooldown is not that long either, so you don't have to wait 10 years for your healing to come back, or for your ally to heal you. Now for the secondary weapon, which is my rocket launcher, I have Power Form 3, Armor Form 3, Human Fortress, and Graviton Shot 3. So the reason why I use Power Form 3 is because obviously I can buff myself with this, and then Armor Form 3 I can buff myself with this as well, increasing my defense, and this one increasing my damage output. Human Fortress 1, so this just makes it to where I don't flinch, or I don't get knocked down, or whatever. So it's going to be really useful. It helps you sustain your damage as well, so that way if you're fighting, like let's say you're fighting the concealed Genbu, and when he shoots his laser at you, normally it would make you get knocked down, but with this active, it doesn't knock you down, it doesn't flinch you, it doesn't do anything. I mean, it'll still damage you, but if you're shooting with this, you're gonna just continue to keep shooting. Now, if you have the second or the third one, from what I've been told, it increases your defense as well. So having that is gonna also be super, super useful. And then Graviton Shot 3, the reason why you want to have this for your rocket launcher or your grenade launcher is because this is going to keep the enemies crowd controlled in a larger area, as well as doing damage over time. So it helps a lot on bosses, especially if the boss is not able to charge out, and even when they do try to charge out, they still get stuck. That's when it becomes super useful for you, because it'll help you sustain your damage. Now, sometimes the enemies will also travel in circles with the Graviton Shot, which kind of messes up your damage, but I mean, at the same time, you're not getting damaged at either, so that's really nice. If you decide to use a sniper, everything's going to be the same except shield matrix. You're going to go ahead and use the Human Fortress. So you would end up using Human Fortress and Phantom Bullet, or you can use Electrodynamic Stunner or Explosive Shot. And then SMGs, pretty much the same thing. You can use Electrodynamic Stunner and Blazing Blast. And then handguns, pretty much all the same thing, except you can use Electrodynamic Stunner, Explosive Shot, and Quick Shot, and then increasing your damage with Power Form. And then my gadgets setup, I have First Aid, Metamaterial Camouflage, Flashbang, and Anti-Ailment Kit. Now, you don't have to use Anti-Ailment Kit. I only like using it sometimes just so that way it reduces the status effect on me. Just like fire, for example. If there's fire on me, it won't do as much damage when you activate this. But you can either use Anti-AR Veil, which pops up a shield in front of you, so that way you don't get hit by bullets. I think you can still get hit by lasers and rockets though, so don't rely on that 100%. You can use Electromag Stun Trap, which is just like the Electro Shot. I think that's what it's called. I don't exactly remember. The Electrodynamic Stunner. It's exactly the same thing, but instead you have to actually go and place it. And then the Proximity Mine is nice, just like a frag grenade, but you have to just go up and place it as well. You can use a smoke grenade. It kind of, what it does is it makes it to where it's harder for enemies to find you while they're also in the smoke. If they're outside of the smoke, they'll still be able to shoot at you. If they're already shooting at you while they're in the smoke, they're still going to shoot at you anyways until they stop shooting at you while the smoke is still going on. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the equipment. Let me go ahead and equip back on. Alright, so with the equipment, I am using dual wield MG Monosky. So this one only requires 108 strength and 124 or 134 dexterity, but that's if you're dual wielding. But the memory chips I have is damage versus life forms, physical attack, damage versus mech, crit damage, crit rate, and weapon attack. So I'm missing 2 memory chips. I mean 1 memory chip for epic, 2 if I had a legendary. The 2 I'd be missing would be the damage at max HP and weak spot damage. Those would be the 2 that I'd be missing. They're not the most important ones, but they are very, very, very useful. Now, if you do have to end up choosing out of those 2, then I would go with damage versus weak spots first. Damage at max HP should be the last memory chip you should go for, in my opinion, because if you get shot at one time, then it just takes that damage bonus away from you until you have full health. And then for my explosion, I have damage versus mechs, weak spot damage, damage versus humanoids, ammo acquired, crit damage, physical damage or physical attack, explosive attack, and weapon attack. So this one pretty much has everything right except for the ammo acquired and damage versus humanoids. What I would switch that out with would be I would switch the ammo acquired with crit rate, and then damage versus humanoids with damage versus life forms. So that would, in my opinion, would be the perfect memory chip setup for your rocket launcher. And then for my accessories, I have defense versus humanoids plus 1.17%, avoid instant death when HP is 30.67% or more, and dexterity plus 19. And then my other accessory I have gives me 19 dexterity, 4 vitality, and 11.48% blaze resistance, the fire resistance. Now, you don't necessarily have to go with the memory chips that I have. The one I would highly recommend would be the ones that have dexterity and avoiding instant death. The one that gives or avoids instant death is going to help you a lot with survivability, and it's basically like a second life. So if you do end up getting one-shotted, or you almost get one-shotted and you have almost no health, all you have to do is just heal yourself, and then you are over 30% health again. So that's why that's going to be very, very, very important to have, so that way you can keep yourself sustained, because you have a healing ability as well. And the reason why dexterity is going to be important is because you have crit damage and weak spot damage from weak spots, or from dexterity. It increases both of those. Now you can also go with any other stats that you'd like to go with. You can go with more strength, go with more intelligence, so that way you can heal more, or your stuns have more effects, or whatever it is that you're using. I don't know if the damage buffs and all the other buffs and debuffs increase with higher intelligence. If it did, then that'd be even better, but I don't think they actually do. But yeah, like I said, you can go with any memory chip on your accessories, but I would highly, highly, highly recommend having at least one memory chip or one accessory with plus 15 dexterity, and then avoiding instant death when your HP is at a certain percentage or more. Now that's pretty much it with this build. If this helped you at all, go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions or concerns or anything, let me know down in the comment section. If you guys also would like to join my Discord channel or Discord chat, let me know as well. I'll leave that in the pinned comments, so that way you guys can let me know through there. And that's pretty much it. If you also have any suggestions on any type of builds you'd like to see, or any videos you'd like to see, theories tested and stuff, let me know down in the comment section as well, and I'll try my best to fulfill that. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave a clip on this build's gameplay against whatever boss I decide to fight. And yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoy that clip and enjoyed this video. This is all Danny Day 1 on the PS4. Have a good day, good night, and peace.